Hello, this is Lop Lop, and I'm going to be doing the first ever artist review on this channel. So essentially I just would like to talk about how the plans originally for this channel didn't end up getting met, but I'm essentially going to be using this as a fun, hobby for me to do over the summer when I don't want to work on music or other things. And I'm going to have videos like artist reviews, I'm going to have videos about how to make music, maybe some spice challenges, and just some other fun stuff to keep y'all engaged before I release my album and future projects. Go to XP Escobar if you really want any, essentially any of my music to listen to, or if you want any news about my music, because that's where I'll be posting videos like that. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start this artist review on a rapper that I am somewhat friends with, and I feel like I'm going to get to know a little bit better soon. Kian Doughty. And I'm really sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm not the best at names, but I know I got the Kian part right. So essentially, I'm just going to say for these five things, the 5 things I'm going to be rating him by, I'll explain them first before I actually get into them. And I will probably do this every episode of Rate the Artist of the Underground, since I don't want to do mainstream artists. I think they deserve more, but anyways, essentially I'll be going off of these things. Alright, let's start off with highlights. So these are basically the peaks of an artist, how high are your highs? Now, Kian, it's pretty easy to say that he has enormous highs with, the Black Balloons Challenge, Candyman, and Pays Low. And I literally just mentioned 3/4 of his discography. At least it's released, but, that's crazy to think about. It's he released... 3 out of 4 of the songs that he released are fucking highlights. If you think about how crazy that is, that's really great. It's not even that the other song he released isn't a highlight. It's just isn't on the same level of the other 3, in my opinion. It's great. And also, all of these songs, they're better than so many other artists' highs. Especially Candyman and Pays Low, in my opinion. They have very memorable choruses, very great energy, have a lot of memorable lyrics, and just lines that just still go hard to this day. Kian is a lyricist that can just say lyrics and I will still be impressed the 4th fucking time, or even the 5th fucking time I hear them. He's a lyrical genius, especially for his age, and that's just crazy to think about. But anyways, that wasn't completely on topic, that last part, but yeah. I'm going to give highlights a 10 out of 10. Okay, discography. So this is essentially how large your discography is. I would not say it is based off of how much I like your discography, because the thing is, I want to be able to rank both how large a discography is and also how much I enjoy the discography. So there's discography, and then the next one will be consistency, which we'll be talking about actual enjoyment. Now, discography, I would say the problem, this is probably out of all of these 5, or no, easily Kian's biggest problem, because he only has 4, at least from what I can tell, since I don't really listen to music on other streaming platforms like Spotify or I don't know, Amazon Music or stuff like that. I typically listen on SoundCloud or YouTube. I've only been able to find 4 songs by him, which I would say discography wise is somewhat a problem, because I don't know, it's a fairly small discography, and that's kind of sad. But besides that, I don't know. I'll just say that's a 4 out of 10. It's going to get a lot better soon, because I know he has an album he's working on. I'm pretty sure in a few years he's going to have, a pretty great discography. Give him 5 years and he may have top 5 hip-hop discography. Not joking. Okay. Next one. Consistency. This is how much the artist consistently wows me. In this case, I would say Kian, he's extremely consistent. He has only dropped 4 singles, but I also see him perform live at the You Heard open mic nights, and I have not heard a miss. I've just heard, like, the worst I could say about some of the songs is maybe they're just, okay, they're cool, I guess. Like, and that's the worst. There is no dud I can think of. I mean, there's just so many highs that are just banging and just, like, I don't know, and he's just a great lyricist, and he's so consistent, like, and he also, like, I don't know, he just does a great job. Yeah, so his consistency is probably pretty obviously a 10 out of 10 because he basically drops straight bangers all the time. And yeah. Next one, which is the one I honestly, at least in this video, I want to spend the most time on because I think it's the most important one for people to think about. And that is potential. So potential essentially is how much an artist can improve and what I essentially see in the artist. Like, if I see, like, a crazy spark that this artist could go for greatness. Now, honestly, this may be one of the highest ones in this series already because I just see a lot in Kian. I would say one of the biggest things to think about is if you compare him to trap artists like such as NBA Youngboy, Lil Durk, or like just some other just standard trap artists, like he's easily catchier than most of them. So there's that. And also, if you look at most lyrical rappers, there are a lot of lyrical rappers he isn't better than this at, but he has better lyrics than a lot of rappers that are claiming to be lyrical rappers. Like, a lot of rappers claiming to be lyrical rappers are like, yeah, they're pretty good. But Kian, he fucking blows me away with his lyrics. And he's not even 18. Like, he's like 16 or 17 or something. And that's, like, crazy to think about. How he's already wowing me this much. Like, with that potential. He doesn't even have an album out yet. Like, the amount of potential is absurd. I low-key think Kian could potentially start Portland to be a huge place for music, as well as I think he could be one of the greatest rappers of all time. Potential is an easy 10 out of 10. Sorry, I'm coughing because just Kian's just such a sick artist, man. Okay. Now the next segment I gotta go into is enjoyment. Now, this one is going to be a tiny bit lower because he still hasn't gotten to the same level as a lot of the artists he's inspired by. But he is still really great, and he is consistently wowing me. But enjoyment, essentially, like, I would say I would rather listen to him than most trap artists nowadays. I have a feeling he's going to have one of the best albums of this year easily without even trying. And I think as far as lyrical rappers go, he is maybe one of my go-tos. Like, he is a top 10 to top 5 go-to. But the thing is, I don't listen to lyrical rap a huge amount. I've always been more drawn to a lot, like, at least for the highs, I'm really drawn to trap music and, I don't know, experimental hip-hop. So I don't usually go looking for lyrical hip-hop as much, but when I do, Kian is going to be one of the defaults. And for that reason alone, honestly, since I kind of have, I don't know, a genre bias, because enjoyment is going to be kind of a biased thing, I'll just say that Kian, he gets a good 8.5 out of 10 for enjoyment. While I don't think he has enough songs in his discography for me to put it higher, and while some of the moments aren't as amazing as all of the other ones, lowering it a little bit, 8.5 is a really great score for enjoyment. And yeah, that's that. So real quick, I'm just going to count all of these scores together. So highlights is 10, discography is 4, so that's 14, consistency is 10, which is 24 then. Potential is 10 out of 10, which I would say is 34 now. And then if you add the 8.5 in enjoyment with that, you have a 40... I'm sorry, I'm terrible at math. You have a 42.5 out of 50 If you ask me, that's a pretty fucking fantastic score. So let's give it up for Kian. He is one of the best underground rappers in Portland and has so much potential, and you guys need to stop sleeping on him. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.